Welcome to the Jeffers Brief, only on Contra Radio Network.
All stations, this is Crystal Palace. Stand by for a message from Brass Sack.
Hello again, Intelligentsia. John Jeffers here on the Jeffers Brief, only on Contra Radio Network. Today, and this week, this episode, I want to address something. And it is this. What we have, my friends, and I'm sure you've seen it on the internet, about how the deep state wants to arrest Donald Trump. Now, I've seen them, and so have you. We've seen these rumors, and we've seen the speculation. I want to tell you a story. I had gotten a phone call, and somewhat cryptic. I've talked to this person before a few times, and so the phone call says, "Hey, brother, heads up." And I said, okay. He said, "There's something on the horizon." And I said, "What? DMZ? NATO?" I said, "You can't be that cryptic, brother. You gotta you gotta give me a little bit more." I said, "If you want to give me details, that's fine, but point me in the right direction." So went ahead, and he said, "Here, call my friend Rick." So it's like, okay. Took me a while get a hold of Rick, and I said, "Hey, Rick, it's John Jeffers over at CRN. What's going on, man?" I said, I understand there might be something brewing. And so Rick tells me, "Hey, I was asked to do this graphic." I said, "Okay, so what?" Yeah, I said, "You do graphics all the time. I mean, why is this one any more ominous or benign as any of the other ones you've done?" I said, "You do good work. I can understand them why they, ask you." Hold on. Cat, you want to leave now? Come on, pal. Here you go. Here you go. Come on. Out. Okay, goodbye. Good seeing you again. Yeah, if I don't let the cat out of the studio, he'll be banging on the door until I comply. I have no will of my own. The cat's will rules mine all the time, much like the dog's will. Okay, getting back to it. So Rick says, "Here, look at this graphic. It's my newest one." So I see the graphic, and I'm thinking, hey, wait a minute, man. I'm reading it, and I'm looking at it. It said something's not right. So I post a question on Gab, and on USA.live, and on Mumblet. So basically I went to all my social media platforms. I said, "Have any of you ever heard of any type of joint operation between the military and the U.S. Marshal Service?" Nobody responded. In all my years of being on this planet, I've never heard of anything like this, because I'm thinking to myself, well, the Marshal Service, their job is usually, more often than not, running down fugitives. And the military, of course, is self-explanatory. So I'm thinking, all right. And I've been thinking about it. And then I saw, again, on the internet, one of these, what you might want to call a conspiracy theory, which I'm very fond of. Just the same, we're gonna play with it tonight, or today. We're gonna just put the speculation out there. There's so much going on, but I'm thinking to myself, let me, and I'm tossing around, what possibility would the Marshal Service have with the military? Why would they be doing a joint task force? I don't know. So I'm rolling around. This goes on for like 4 or 5 days. So Saturday, I'm talking to one of my friends about this. We went out took our wives out for a nice steak and scotch late lunch, early dinner, if you will. It was very good, by the way. And afterwards, we were just sitting over a couple of cocktails. And I explained, and I'm asking about this. What do you think about this? I've never heard this. I say, have you? He says, no, I've never even heard of it. That doesn't mean it hasn't happened in the past. It probably has. Maybe it has. I don't know. But I've never heard of it, and everybody in my little circle haven't heard about it. And apparently, nobody on social media has heard about it, and if they have, they're not talking. So, let us play the game, what if? What if this joint task force would be to arrest Donald Trump? Now, I know right now you're all going nuts. You're thinking about it. Let me lay out the way I see it. 1, the deep state has always said they will never, ever, ever allow Donald Trump to get into the Oval Office again. At the last televised session of the Kangaroo Court, known as the January 6th Committee, which is a travesty of justice if I've ever seen it, one of the last things they did, they said was, this is now a criminal referral. We're going to refer it to the Department of Justice. Now this was what, Thursday, Friday, whenever the Kangaroo Court was last in session. So let us assume the internet rumors are true. So you have a hotly contested midterms coming up. All right? Midterms coming up. Everybody's screaming red wave, red wave, red wave. The Democrats have put everything in the abortion basket, trying to make a switch. The numbers aren't looking good for the Democrats, but who the hell knows? I mean, who knows? You can't even trust the polls anymore. All you can really do is actually show up on Election Day at your voting booth and vote in person. So let's assume that this is true. They want to make sure, one, Donald Trump never, ever, 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 ever steps foot in the Oval Office again. The Kangaroo Court has come out and said this is going to be a criminal referral to the Department of Justice, which was always a foregone conclusion anyways. And they put out, well, we're going to subpoena him to get him to come in and talk to us. Really? BS. Because I believe, looking at it, if I was a betting man, I think I would put some money on this, that they will arrest Donald Trump before the midterm elections. And they have to do it with enough time so that the media has a chance to, stir the pot and get crazy and everything else. And there's a lot of people that, for lack of a better word, just keyboard warriors. Yeah, they talk a good game, but when it comes right down to actually doing anything, they won't do it. They won't get off their ass. I got a family. I got a job. I can't do it. Okay. Anyways, that's another subject for another time. So let's get back to our conspiracy. If they were to do it, and this might be why we have this joint task force, if all the information that I have seen is true. I don't know, I'm not saying it is. All I'm telling you is I saw the graphic that this person was asked to make, that Rick was asked to make. So, And Rick ain't talking anymore. He's gone. He's gone dark, man. I don't think he's going to answer any of my phone calls till after the election. Who knows? Hell, for all I know, this might be my last show too. For all I know, once I publish this episode, I'm getting the black helicopter circling overhead and getting knocks at the door from the federal agents, the deep state. Why are you talking about this? How do you know? Well, kiss my ass. I'm going to do it anyways. What are they going to do to me? Look, my life is closer to the end than it is at the beginning. In the meantime, let's get back to it. All right, so let's assume that this is the plan. This joint task force between the military and the U.S. Marshal Service, this is their plan. Because this would be the leftist, democratic, progressive wet dream come true. And I'm going to tell you what that point is. So let's assume Donald Trump is at Mar-a-Lago. Now, he has Secret Service protection. Let us suppose that those Secret Service agents have been told to stand down on this particular day at this particular time. This is what's, either make yourself somewhere else on the grounds or make yourself, absent. Because if you get in the way, we're going to kill you. And then we're going to brand your family and you as traitors for standing up for protecting the president. Because in from the sea, because Mar-a-Lago's right there on the ocean, comes a bunch of choppers. Something similar to like you would see in Apocalypse Now during the attack. So they come in over the sea. They land the choppers right there at Mar-a-Lago. And they go looking to secure and find Donald Trump. Now, if any Secret Service agents attempt to intervene, they will kill him. They grab Trump, put him on the helicopter, take him to the nearest air base, put him on a plane for D.C. Now, this is where the money shot comes for the leftist wet dream. They will have, mind you, the National Press Corps standing by so they can get pictures when they do the perp walk with the president. They're going to have, and the picture will be of him in handcuffs or chains, whatever. That, my friends, is your leftist wet dream. So, the question then becomes, they do this before the midterms. Why? Because they can't wait. This is getting down to nitty-gritty time. What are you going to do? If anything, let's just say they do arrest Donald Trump, and I do believe it's imminent. One, they got to do something to take the heat off Biden. We all know the Department of Justice has now become an extension of the Democratic National Committee and of the Biden White House. We know that. We know that. They will run, and they got to get the heat off Biden and Hunter. They have to. So, they arrest Trump trying to deflect what they can. Because I'm going to tell you now, the Department of Justice is going to go dark for like 3 or 4 days. No, about 2 to 4 days. We'll go dark. And don't plan on the Republican Party helping Trump out. All they're good at are writing letters, making demands, and never following up on anything. So, where do we go from there? Well, let's think about that for a minute. Here, listen to this. Let's think about this for a few minutes. You might like it.
for your dreams. You drift through the years, and life seems tame, till one dream appears and love is its name. And love is a stranger who'll beckon you on. Don't think of the danger, for the stranger is gone. This dream is for you, so pay the price. Make one dream come true. You only live twice. And love is a stranger who'll beckon you on. Don't think of the danger, for the stranger is gone. This dream is for you, so pay the price. Make one dream come true. You only live twice.
All right. There you go. That was Nancy Sinatra from the movie You Only Live Twice, James Bond movie You Only Live Twice. Just wanted to share it with you. Okay, getting back to it. Let's assume Trump is arrested, transported to D.C., whereas they have the military out. They're going to... You know what I'm thinking? Perhaps they might even move an aircraft carrier close to the Florida coastline so they could fly in and out. But regardless, so he's in D.C. They do the perp walk with him. You know the GOP is useless. They're not going to sit there and scream bloody murder. Well, they will, but that's about all they're going to do. That's it. The real question becomes, what is MAGA going to do? MAGA Nation. I don't know. Are there enough people? See, look at it this way. You put enough people, enough MAGA Nation demonstrating in D.C., screaming for his release, well, they can't throw us all in prison. They don't have that much room. They might throw some. The question is, I guess we'll have to ask ourselves is this: do we have the balls to do that? My guess is very few do. You know, Jake Lane got a message from his people. They wanted to do he wanted to come on the show. And I was talking to his assistant, Kelly. Well, the Bureau of Federal Prisons has been shuffling these guys, these January 6 people, all over the country to different prisons. At each prison, there are different rules. The one where he is now, he's allowed 20-minute phone calls. That's it, and they have to pay for them. So, and I guess it's just outrageous how much money they charge for it. You know, to make a phone call from federal prison to the outside, regardless. So I talked to them a few days, last week. Haven't heard back from them, so I don't know what's going on there. My point being this: if they're sitting there playing prisoner shuffle with these guys for a supposed insurrection, I don't want to go there. That's just a whole different thing. The point is this: They don't have enough prison space to put all of MAGA Nation into prison. And all they're going to do is piss off enough people. Now, if they do this, it's going to have to be it's going to be a snatch and grab. That'd be my guess. And they won't use anybody from the field offices, the U.S. Marshal Service. They're going to use their people coming out of D.C., just like they did with the FBI. And that's why the FBI can't do this again. Because now I'm thinking the Mar-a-Lago raid looks like a dry run. It looks like a dry run for arresting Trump, which suggests this has been planned long, long, long ago. You tell me, what do you think? I'm just putting it out there as presupposition. Do I know it's going to happen? No, of course not. They don't call me and ask me what I think. They just do it. Just like they do with everybody else in this country. So what do? How do we respond if this happens? There's a lot of, could this kick off a second, what do we call it? American Civil War 2.0? Maybe. Depends on how many people have the guts to go out and do something. And say, this is wrong, this is bullshit. I don't know. I'm putting it out there, my friends. I don't have the answers for it. I do not. Wish I did, but I don't. So my prediction is they are going to arrest Trump probably. See, they got to do it sometime in the next, let me see. Today's what, October 17th? So another 7 days, the 24th, the 31st. So they've got less than 2 weeks to pull this off. So let's go say 14 days. I'm guessing if it's going to happen, it's going to happen in the next. Got to happen in the next 4 to 8 days. They got to, because they got to have. They need to have time to have the press stir the pot. They got to do it so it has some kind of an impact on the election. They can't wait till the last minute. That's my guess. That's the way I'm looking at this. But it's just my opinion. If it does happen, I'm sure all bets are off at that point. I think doesn't matter what I think. What matters is what you think. If I were Donald Trump, I would say, oh, look, it's time for a 3-week vacation. I'd jump on my plane and go somewhere else. Go to South America. Why not? Take all I would sell Mar-a-Lago right now. Mainly because every time you go back, it's tainted. A lot of times people who have had their homes burglarized and ransacked, they'll sell it and move. Because every time they come home, they're reminded of that invasion of privacy, the violation of their sense of security and well-being. I don't know that Donald Trump's, I don't know if he has any private bodyguards. We know he has a Secret Service detail, but how many of them are actually going to take a bullet for him? Especially if they're told to stand down, or they're told, if you don't want to get involved in this, then on this date, about this time, you will not be there. You will be wandering the grounds far from the house. You will be wherever, but you won't be by him. If you are and you try to intervene, we will shoot and kill you. Think about that. Think about it. I know. I I just I just wanted to put it out there. There's been some internet rumors out there. We've seen them for a while now. And then, like I said, I got that phone call. And it's like, what if this is what it's all about? Oh, and the tagline for this graphic, United We Stand. Really? United We Stand. Okay, so, united with who? United with what? I know. It sounds absolutely crazy what I'm talking about. What can I say? I would suggest that there'll be other people be doing probably shows about this very subject. I encourage you to listen to them. Maybe they come up with something other than what I have. Well, like I said, the FBI can't do this because they've lost all credibility with the Mar-a-Lago raid. So DOJ says, we'll use the Marshal Service. Yeah, that's the ticket. We'll use the Marshal Service to do this. All right. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I am just being a conspiracy theorist right now. Because I don't want to see this happen. Because deep down, I figure if this comes to fruition, it ain't going to be good. There's going to be, hopefully, there'll be some backlash. And I'm not talking the bad deep state. You shouldn't have done that. I'm talking bad juju for all involved. We'll see what happens, my friends. I know this isn't a long episode, but I wanted to share it with you. I wanted you to think about things. What if this does occur? If this goes down, like I think it's going to, what are you going to do? You afraid? You should be. This should scare the hell out of everybody. The only people that would like it are the leftists. This would be their wet dream come true. The rest of America going, what in the hell have you done? We'll see. We'll see. All right. By the way, if you're listening in, my last episode of the Jeffers Brief Fire Mission, number 8. You live in the tyranny state of Illinois, you need to watch that. You must watch it. Must watch it. See if we can get that crappy Safety Act law quashed. And if I may end up doing another show later on this week. I don't know. It depends on what goes on. So there it is. I put it out there. I put my prediction out there based on a conspiracy theory that we've seen on the internet, stuff that phone calls have been made to me. All right, I've shared it. It's off my chest. Perhaps we should do a live show, a call-in show. Maybe that is what we should do. All right, and if we do that, we're going to do that in the evening. So people that are, home from work can call in. Say, John, you're nuts. There's no way they're going to arrest Trump. No way. All right. Hope you're right. I hope I'm wrong on this. There's just a lot of stuff that... And you know what the problem really is? If you look beyond that, it's the fact we're even talking about this. We're talking about it because of the state of our countries and politically right now, the way our institutions, who used to be trusted in institutions, are no longer trusted. And they're capable of doing something this goofy and off the scale crazy. So, Until next time, I'm John Jeffers. Thanks for listening. Hope it doesn't happen. Until then, though, take care of yourselves. Be alert, be vigilant, be safe. Prep today, live tomorrow. I'm John Jeffers here on the Jeffers Brief. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you later.